ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first concert of the 62nd Annual Summer of the St. Genevieve Municipal Band. We are grateful that all of you could join us for some enjoyable entertainment this evening. We will begin with one of Claire Grundmann's original band works entitled Kentucky 1800. It is a setting of 3 American folk songs, The Promised Land, I'm Sad and I'm Lonely, and Cindy, all of which are reminiscent of the years the pioneers were forging westward. The tunes are set in a symphonic poem. Grundmann employs the natural beauty and lyric nature of the folk melodies without extreme variation. The thematic material of the folk songs are used throughout the piece in transitions as well. His use of color and texture create the emotion and feeling. Part of what makes Claire Grundmann such an important name in concert band literature is the huge number of compositions he has produced. In addition to the scores and arrangements for television, radio, ballet, Broadway musicals, and motion pictures, Grundmann has composed over 70 pieces for the Symphonic Wind Band. Through his vast amount of works for concert bands of many levels, Grundmann has earned a place among the top American composers of the 20th century. His compositions are often based around folk and popular melodies. Perhaps equally important as his compositions are Claire Grundmann's arrangements. He has been credited with bringing traditionally orchestral composers to the band world. Kentucky 1800 was published in 1955. The work is a band masterpiece which has become a favorite with audiences. Please enjoy Kentucky 1800. Dean, legendary film star and cult icon, for his intense acting style and brooding good looks. James Byron Dean from Fairmont, Indiana, had experienced an exciting yet brief career as an actor in the movies. Over the period of 16 months, Dean had made 3 movies: East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant, but only the first one had been released before his death at the age of 24. The legend of James Dean is still very much alive. Larry Dane's As Summer Was Just Beginning is a subtitled song for James Dean because it was written in his memory. It is centered around 2 main themes. In his program notes, Dane writes that the main opening melody of As Summer Was Just Beginning is loosely based on a British Isles folk song, The Winter Is Past and the Summer's Here at Last. The next theme brings out the emotion of bittersweet sorrow, which allows for the listener to reflect on the tragic ending of James Dean's life. Dane earned a BA in musical education from the University of Wisconsin at Oshkosh in 1964 and his master's degree from the University of Wisconsin at Platteville in 1976. Dane taught for 27 years at New Glarus High School in Wisconsin. In addition to As Summer Was Just Beginning, Dane is also known for his composition With Quiet Courage in memory of his mother. Dane is an admirer of Percy Grainger, owns Dane Publications, and has written and arranged many works for concert band. Here is As Summer Was Just Beginning. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the Municipal Band Director, Mr. John Mooney. This is John's 6th year with the band, 2nd year as director. Next, we have the Liechtensteiner Polka by Ed Koscher. It is an upbeat polka for the evening that may be familiar to some due to our town's rich German heritage. Mr. Mooney did mention on his focus interview today that he would like to see some of the audience up and dancing, so please don't upset him. Enjoy the Liechtensteiner Polka. I did see we had one little dancer out there. The Symphony Number 9 in D minor is the last complete symphony composed by Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven was a German composer and pianist. He is widely regarded as one of classical music's greatest composers and was the predominant figure in the transitional period between the classical and romantic eras in Western classical music. Completed in 1824, his 9th symphony includes part of the ode An die Freude, Ode to Joy, by Friedrich Schiller. Ironically, Beethoven wrote this composition in one of the saddest periods of his life. His hearing loss was dramatic at that time. He could no longer perform as a virtuoso pianist. This ode, written in 1785, is known especially for its musical setting in the 4th and final movement of Beethoven's 9th symphony, for 4 solo voices, chorus, and orchestra. This piece was adopted by many countries as an anthem and is also a common Christmas carol in Japan. Please enjoy Ode to Joy. Fillmore is an American musical icon. His musical career spanned for over 50 years. He wrote over 250 tunes and arranged orchestrations for hundreds more. He also published a great number of tunes under various pseudonyms. While best known for march music and screamers, he also wrote waltzes, foxtrots, hymns, novelty numbers, and overtures. In his youth, he mastered piano, guitar, violin, and flute, as well as the slide trombone. Fillmore wrote under a series of different names. He did write under the name Will Huff as well until it caused conflict because there was already a Will Huff that did compose marches and lived and composed in his state and area. Fillmore began composing at age 18. Altogether, he composed 113 marches. The Footlifter is one of his most well-known marches. Here is The Footlifter by Henry Fillmore. Henry Mancini, an American composer and arranger, composed the theme music for the 1963 well-known film, The Pink Panther. Although much of Mancini's work can be classified as easy listening, he was capable of writing powerful and rousing scores as well. The Pink Panther theme is one of those iconic themes which are instantly recognizable to many people, no matter what generation they belong to. This is in part due to its use on the ever-popular Pink Panther cartoon series, but the theme and the cartoon character both started out as accompaniments to the original Pink Panther film starring Peter Sellers as the bumbling Inspector Clouseau. Mancini created a fantastic main theme and many other tracks for these films with his characteristic jazz sound, ranging from the laid-back and dreamy through to lively songs and instruments suggesting the European countries visited by Clouseau on his investigations. Mancini is a master at this type of music. Here is The Pink Panther by Henry Mancini. Our next selection is Georgia on My Mind by Stuart Gurrell and Hoagie Carmichael, and is the official state song for the state of Georgia. Gurrell wrote the lyrics in 1930 for Hoagie's sister, Georgia Carmichael. Hoagie added the music. It became a major hit after Ray Charles's 1960 recording of it. The song was officially adopted as Georgia's state song on April 24, 1979. The song was also used as a theme song to the CBS sitcom Designing Women. The song was used in a poignant moment in the season 2 finale episode, MIA, of the NBC series Quantum Leap. Ray Charles's version was sampled for rap group Field Mob's latest single, Georgia, featuring Jamie Foxx and Ludacris. The song has also been covered by Willie Nelson and the British group Coldplay, among others. Hoagie Carmichael was one of the first 10 songwriters inducted into the USA Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1969. Featured this evening on the trumpet is Mr. Charlie Crowther. Enjoy Georgia on My Mind. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl is a 2003 adventure film inspired by the theme park ride of the same name at Disney theme parks around the world. From this blockbuster movie comes a soundtrack filled with excitement, drama, and power. The Curse of the Black Pearl grossed almost $654 million worldwide, becoming the 22nd highest grossing film in the United States. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl's music was written by Klaus Badelt, a German composer, and arranged by John Wasson. John Wasson's excellent arrangement recreates these marvelous themes for the mature concert band. This symphonic suite includes The Medallion Calls, The Black Pearl, To the Pirate's Cave, One Last Shot, and He's a Pirate. Arguably, this is Klaus's most famous work to the general public. His work on the film is notable not only for its popular success, but for how quickly the score came together. After director Gore Verbinski fired veteran composer Alan Silvestri, Badalt and the Media Ventures team was brought in for replacement score. Badalt served as music supervisor and worked with 7 other composers from Media Ventures to produce the score. Please enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean. Rodgers and Hammerstein were an American songwriting duo consisting of Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein II. They are most famous for creating a string of immensely popular Broadway musicals in the late 1940s and 1950s. 5 of their shows were outstanding successes, one of which was The Sound of Music. Among the many honors they gathered were 34 Tony Awards, 15 Academy Awards, 2 Pulitzer Prizes, 2 Grammy Awards, and 2 Emmy Awards. The pair wrote 9 musicals together and collaborated on a musical film. The Sound of Music was their last work together. It later was made into a movie. The final song that Oscar Hammerstein II wrote was Edelweiss, which was added during rehearsals near the end of the second act of The Sound of Music. To this day, many think Edelweiss is an Austrian folk song. Sadly, Hammerstein never lived to see The Sound of Music made into the 1965 film adaptation, which became internationally loved, won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and became perhaps his most well-known legacy. Here is Hammerstein's Edelweiss. Our final selection is the King Cotton March by John Philip Sousa. Sousa wrote the march during the summer of 1895 during a very successful time of his life. Sousa was an American bandmaster and composer who did more than anyone to elevate the status of the military wind band through creation and performance. The King Cotton March was written the year before Sousa's most famous work, Stars and Stripes. The composer and his band, in Atlanta at the Cotton States and International Exposition, premiered King Cotton. The King Cotton March itself has gone on to become one of Sousa's most popular pieces. It opens with one of those catchy Sousa tunes, its bounce and effervescence uniting with the colorful instrumentation to impart a mood of playful festivity. Gradually, the theme, and indeed the whole character of the music, turns more muscular, more dramatic in the latter half. King Cotton achieves a festive grandeur and joy that make it irresistible to band music enthusiasts. In any event, the King Cotton March is rightly considered one of Sousa's finest band compositions. Enjoy the King Cotton March by John Philip Sousa. for this 2007 summer season. Join us again next week for Moon River, Just Another Polka, Syncopated Clock, and several others. Until we meet again.